So to get
we've got
started
Hima.
this morning, Miss Hima Reddy.
We love this lady.
Yeah.
She's a veteran Wall Street analyst known for her uncanny predictions on market moves and her ability to make trading simple. She's on a mission to empower traders to take control of their financial future so that they can live the life that they and their families deserve. Sounds pretty great. Today she's going to talk about women in racing, momentum for the win, catching market turns to ride price waves up and down, finding optimal momentum in only a few minutes a day, and picking the best trades, entries, and high profit exits. Hima, we're so happy to have you here today. Looks like she's logged in and getting ready.
Can you hear me?
Yeah,
we can.
Yeah, we hear you great.
Okay. Hi, Raleigh. Nice to see you, meet you in person. Hello,
Absolutely.
Pat.
Hi there, Hima.
All right. Awesome. Well, I'm excited to take it away here. So I guess first thing I need to do is share my screen, right?
Yes.
Okay. And let's get that going. All right. So you guys see my screen here?
We
With my
sure
slides
do.
title?
Great.
Okay, fantastic. And I want to make sure I can see all the awesome ladies and maybe some gentlemen here today. So I'm going to go ahead and look at my chat. Is this where they're going to be being able to ask questions or answer my role in the chat?
If you can focus on your presentation, then our moderators will make sure to let you know if there's anything in the midst of your session that, we need some clarification. But by all means, if you like to answer chat on the fly, that is your call. But
Yeah, this is your hour to spend to do however you see fit.
Sure. Zoom just has so many different areas, so I just want to make sure I was looking at the right spot. So I've got my chat open in case I need to check in on the crowd. And that's
Great.
cool. All right, awesome. All right, well, welcome everyone. It is so awesome to be here today. And first, if you can hear me and see my screen, just type a Y in the chat. I just want to make sure I'm coming through to everyone. And, it's 10 a.m. Eastern, 9 a.m. here in the Midwest, but where are you guys dialing in from? I always love to hear where people are trading from, right? It's around the country, around the world. So I'm in Milwaukee. We just moved here for my husband's job, and because I'm a trader, I can work from anywhere, and so I'm lucky I get to support him in his career. All right, we've got Keith from South Africa, Owner from Toronto, Cynthia from Edmonton, Raven from Bremerton. I don't think I've ever heard of Bremerton. That's interesting. Colorado, Indianapolis. Awesome. All right, I want you to get excited, not only because I'm the first speaker of your awesome day, but because you're here to learn how to trade momentum. You're going to get a sneak peek behind the one Jedi indicator that helps me accurately predict turns and large moves in any market on any time frame. So let me ask you, have you ever wondered what it would be like to have an expert analyst in your back pocket? Have you ever wondered what it would be like to finally trade with confidence? Have you ever wondered what it would be like to finally make enough with trading that you could live the life you deserve? Would you like me to share an easy way to amplify the power of an indicator that's in every single trading system out there? Would you like me to share an easy pattern that allows me to predict trends in price and momentum for you? Would you like me to share an easy way to trade futures, stocks, and options? Listen, how many of you want to get as much as possible out of our time together? Right? I want that for you too. For most of you here with me today, this is going to be a long-term relationship. Once I show you how simple this is, once I show you how easy it is to consistently extract money from the markets, once I show you how fast your business and life can grow, you'll want to hang out with me for a lifetime. Now, in a moment, you're about to discover how to make money with futures, stocks, and options, even if you suck at picking them yourself. You're about to discover how to capitalize off making trades at the best prices and the best times. In a moment, you're about to discover how to catch market turns and ride the price waves up and down in only minutes a day. Would you like me to show you that? All right, awesome. Now, I promise that by the end of our time today, you'll know everything you need to know to pick the best trade, when to enter, and when to exit in only minutes a day. Would that be okay if I pull back that curtain for you? All right, great, because here's the problem, right? Many traders are making it way too complicated. Many traders are getting hammered by the trends because you haven't found a by yourself. And it's not your fault. They make it complicated. So as you listen to me now, know my intention is to help you fix that problem because you're ready to take action now. Notice, I'm going to be absolutely upfront and transparent with you today. I'm going to show you current case studies and figures today. As you well know, trading involves risk, and it's your responsibility to evaluate any information, opinion, advice, or other content contained within my presentation. Your results are up to you. I can't predict them, right? I'm not going to predict them. Anyone who says they can is lying to you. I don't know your trading plan, your account size, or your markets. I can only show you what's working for myself and others. Your success is up to you. So who am I and why listen to me, right? Well, if you haven't been following me for a while, here's a mercifully short introduction. I'm Hima Reddy, and I'm originally from New York, the hotbed of the markets. And I started out at 16 years old learning futures trading from my dad, a successful trader in the Gann style of trading. In fact, my dad was so far ahead of his time that he got a chunk of Amazon stocks right at the beginning. Then I became a certified CMT working as an analyst at Piper Jaffray before going on my own to help traders directly. And over the past 20 years, between my professional analysis on Wall Street and my international publications and my proprietary analysis and education, I've helped hundreds of thousands of individuals create a sound plan for their financial future. I'm an international speaker presenting to institutional portfolio managers and analysts, as well as individual traders. And I've been blessed to appear on the Wall Street Journal, Barron's, Bloomberg, Reuters, The Street, Benzinga, and all the media alphabet. I'm also the author of the trading methodologies of W.D. Gann. So how did I get here? Well, that is quite a story. Is it okay if I take a few minutes and recap my story? All right, it'll go by like that. So here we go. Now I'm a successful trader and educator, but it hasn't always been like this. Years ago, life seemed great. I was in the center of the action as an analyst with Piper Jaffray and making them a ton of money, right? Starting work at 5 a.m., working late and burning out quickly. Is anyone else here a corporate cog making someone else rich? I know, right? I mean, I thought there must be more to life. I never got to see my family. You know what I mean, right? I started becoming a ghost in my own life. I'll never forget the moment the bottom dropped out of my world, when my beloved dad and mentor died suddenly. At first, I felt like my whole world was crashing in, and I had to leave my job to tend to financial and legal family matters. But then I realized this was my ray of light, my hope to get out of the corporate grind, and I seized it with both hands. You see, while I was apprenticing with my dad to learn the markets, I had started a futures report that I called the Skinny and the Mini. It started out as just another exercise, but soon my dad started making money with it and relying on my little report. And then I shared it with other traders too, and they were benefiting. But all that stopped when I joined the corporate world. Conflicts of interest, am I right? And all those years, those traders were hounding me to get the report back. So when I had to leave my job and take over my dad's accounts to trade for my mom's future, I realized it was time to bring back the Skinny and the Mini and reclaim my life. So I sent out the call to my former subscribers, and they said yes, they would love to get back my report that ROI'd on average 7 times out of 10. They couldn't wait to leave the hard work to me again. The result, I had time to trade my dad's and my accounts again. I started maximizing the trading methods of W.D. Gann and became the leading expert on Gann. I started teaching others the hard-earned secrets that I had learned from my late father. And in a moment, I'm going to share those very secrets with you. Because what I've discovered is that trading equals freedom. Trading equals what? Right, freedom. I mean, there's only so much time in each day. And when I found the system, I got my time back and my family back, and that's freedom. Clearly, that's what we all want, right? Freedom. I mean, wouldn't that be awesome? But clearly, there are challenges. Many traders lose money because they don't have a proven system. Trading often feels complicated and overwhelming. Often it can be confusing, right? Well, they made it confusing and complicated because you don't have a simple proven system. Because what I'm about to share wasn't available until now. And now that it is, you've got to have your 4 zones RSI coverage system. And you'll immediately notice how much easier it is to make money trading future stocks and options. And I'll show you that a little later. So what's different about the 4 zones RSI coverage system? The 4 zones RSI coverage system gives you my JEDI indicator and system that helps you accurately predict turns and large moves in any market on any time frame. But more on that in a bit. First, we're going to dive right in. All right, guys, trading momentum can be easy, but first you need to understand how it works. So women in racing, right? How about a Formula One car racing track to help you understand momentum in no time? Who's ready for that? Type a Y for me in the chat. This is momentum like you've never seen before. All right, fantastic. So let's put ourselves in the driver's seat, okay? You're at the starting line of the track, you rev up your engine and you go. You pick up your speed really quickly or accelerate on the straight runs. You see a turn coming up and you prepare accordingly. You ease off the gas to slow down or decelerate, even if it's just a little bit. So you can have more control as the car whips to the other side of the turn. Then after you make the turn and the road straightens out again, you hit the accelerator once more. Are you getting the idea of how you'd accelerate and decelerate on this track? Well, now you know exactly how price momentum works. Let's jump into that helicopter that was looking down at the racetrack and get a bird's eye view of it. You see, the racetrack becomes price as you see it on your stock charts, or Forex, or futures, or whatever you're trading. And the momentum in the bottom as a subchart. Making sense? All right, so when price is trending higher, you've got upward momentum that's improving. That upward momentum generally begins to slow down and peak before price does, making momentum a leading indicator. Now, when there are falling prices, there's falling momentum that becomes a more and more powerful force. But when a price bottom is approaching, you usually see momentum bottom out first. Therefore, momentum indicators can warn you about hidden strength or weakness, giving you a heads up, especially when it comes to potential market turns. Is this making sense, guys? Type a Y for me if you've got it. All right. Now let's take that and dive into the indicator. But first, let me share with you results from our trading family. Hima, I value your insights. Your momentum indicator is an integral part of what I've put together. I believe I'm ready to go from paper to live trading, said Jim. Okay, so now that we've made momentum easy to understand, in a moment, I'm going to show you how you can make money trading momentum. But first, you want the Jedi secret? All right, I'm going to let you peek behind the scenes of my trading and show you how momentum moves through markets that you know using my special Jedi indicator. This indicator is called the RSI Power Zones, and you can use it on any market in any time frame. Now, everyone here, I want you to take a look at these two columns. On the left, we have various types of markets. Your indices is your E-mini S&P, NASDAQ, Dow. Stocks could be FANG or other tech, or stocks in any other sector industry. ETFs, I have a lot of coaching students that trade the SPY ETF. Bonds could be 30-year, 10-year, anything smaller. FX is currencies, major pairs, minor pairs, and everything in between. Commodities is wheat and gold and soybeans and more. So let me know today, right now in the chat, what market and time frame combination do you trade? The time frames are on the right, but this is just a sampling, right? Could be all the way down in a 5-minute or even a 1-minute chart, up to a 60-minute daily, weekly, or even monthly. It's important for you to see that your combination of market and time frame is addressed by the RSI Power Zones, so that you know that I'm speaking your language here. All right. For example, me, every day in the Skinny and the Mini, I cover the E-mini S&P 500 futures, and I analyze them on intraday charts. My trading time frame is a 3-minute chart. So again, how about you guys? Okay, awesome. I see Stephanie trades stocks and ETFs. She's got a variety of intraday time frames. Fantastic. Vishnu trades options on the indices. Tom trades stocks and ETFs short to medium term. Any combination of market and time frame, as long as it's an active market, guys, that a lot of people are engaged in, RSI Power Zones will be amazing for you. So we've got to look at how the RSI Power Zones work on a variety of time frames for you to get to know it and get comfortable with it, right? So let's start by looking at how the RSI Power Zones work on a futures market that you guys ask me about all the time. Oil. So that's a commodity, and we're going to look at it on a monthly time frame for the big picture. Because whether you trade oil directly or you just pay attention to it at the gas tank, it's important to monitor. So the RSI Power Zones consist of these 4 zones that you see at the bottom of your chart, and I'm going to walk you through each. The 2 lower red lines are the RSI Bear Support Power Zone. The 2 lower green lines are the Bull Support Power Zone. The 2 upper red lines are the Bear Resistance Power Zone, and the 2 upper green lines are the Bull Resistance Power Zone. So looking at all of these zones, we're going to look at the history of price action versus what happened in the power zones. So first, there was this run-up in price. That took us to these crazy new highs above $200 a barrel. And that strong advance higher in price was accompanied by the RSI Power Zones on oil rising from the bull support to the bull resistance. This is what was evident on a monthly time frame. From there, the market had a very sharp fall, as you can see, taking out the previous lows in price. And when it did this, the RSI Power Zones fell into the Bear Support Power Zone. Now, I was an analyst on Wall Street watching and analyzing oil and many other markets, and I told folks, listen, I don't think this is a one and done fall here. I think oil is going to be in trouble for some time. And it sure did end up that way. Oil went into this giant sideways trading range for years. And the thing is that with every one of these yellow vertical lines, you can see that a peak in the consolidation, a price high, was tied in with RSI staying beneath the bear resistance power zone. Its movement had shifted from living between the green zones to the red zones. This was another clue as to the future direction of the breakout. So after falling to, $100 a barrel, right? Everyone was like, oh, there's no way it's going to fall lower. I mean, it'll climb back to 150, 180, go up from there. Yeah, not so much. We had another drop, quite substantial. And both lows in price saw the RSI power zones push down deep into the bear support power zone and continue to remain pressured there. This made it easy to maintain a selling or shorting mentality instead of getting excited every time the RSI got to some random level called oversold. Do you guys see how we're taking the 0 to 100 of the RSI and making full use of it? All right, awesome. So you might be wondering, well, was there a recovery from getting so oversold? Absolutely. But even that recovery on its first attempt higher, it capped at the bear resistance power zone. So this is the RSI power zones as applied to a commodity that we all watch on a monthly time frame because of its importance in our day-to-day lives and history. Can you see how looking at the RSI power zones on oil might have helped you better navigate trades in oil or markets related to it? Type a Y for me in the chat if you see that. And again, this is just one combination of market and time frame. We're going to move into a bunch more. All right, awesome. Now let's take a look at another popular market and time frame, an ETF on a weekly chart. Here we're going to look at the SPY. Again, a popularly traded ETF. And we've got the 4 power zones again. Now, every single candlestick is representing 1 week of price action. Now notice, there was sideways action in the SPY for like 2 years, right? Then price broke out above the dashed horizontal line, and then it pulled back to the instance in time marked by the yellow vertical line. That pullback provided an opportunity to be ready for a long if and only if you were using the RSI power zones, but not if you were just looking at the traditional RSI approach. You would have totally missed this. From there, we had a huge advance higher, and that whole advance saw the RSI continue to improve, ultimately reaching and extending beyond the bull resistance power zone. So the movement from one green zone to the other green zone helped you stay looking at the long side, looking at the buying moves in this strong advance. Then what happened? Well, there was this very sharp, nasty drop, and in 2 weeks took out the price action of the past 10 weeks. But all that happened in the RSI power zones was that it went from the bull resistance power zone down to the bull support power zone, basically relieving itself of overbought conditions, sort of like a pause in the race higher. And when I was writing the Skinny in the Mini at this time and everyone was kind of freaked out by this price decline in the market, I said, hey, look, I think this is just a sign that we're going to go sideways for a few months before the bigger uptrend resumes. And that's what happened. Sideways tradable moves showed a daily or intraday chart, many opportunities, all within that weekly chart that was just unwinding its overbought conditions. Okay, it's like a slinky. You know those toys, they're like a coil, right? They compress back before they expand again. From there, we had a break higher and it coincided with the RSI power zones resuming higher once again. And these relationships between price and RSI power zones are evident in a variety of markets and timeframes, which we're going to continue to see here today. Now we're going to dive into the trade setups. But first, let me share with you more results from our trading family. Susie shared, my first month using RSI power zones was also my best trading month so far. So by now you're getting it. Right? You're seeing how the RSI power zones boost your use of momentum. So we're going to dive into my proprietary 3-step approach to using RSI power zones to finding great trade setups. I'm going to show you actual setups that I use and share with my trading family. So here it is, using RSI power zones to identify trade setups. Step 1, review the chart and assess the price trend. Price, Hima? You might be wondering, she's been talking about momentum during this whole training. Why is she talking about price now? Because price is king, guys. Price is the source of data from which momentum is derived, and we'll benefit more from trading momentum if we're on top of the price trend. So when you make this assessment, and I'll show you how in a moment, you have three choices you end up with: uptrend, downtrend, or sideways. And yes, sideways is a type of trend. You can be prepared for the next directional move if you know how to monitor the momentum of sideways action, those consolidative ranges. Step 2, evaluate the RSI power zones reading. This is specifically looking at the RSI value relative to the 4 power zones. Each zone has a distinct upper and lower border. There are 4 total zones. So there's some white space in between, some gaps in the RSI power zones. And it's important to know if the RSI is currently in a zone or moving in and out of a particular one. Or if it's just like hanging out in that dead space between the zones that I call no man's land. And we'll see that in our examples coming up. Step 3, determine the presence of an entry signal between price and momentum. Usually the best signals come when momentum and price are not connecting, they're not jiving together. That's usually an opportunity we can take advantage for profit. So you've got your 3 steps here to using RSI power zones to identify trade setups. And I'm going to repeat these steps multiple times. So you're going to have them down pat by the end of our training. And the best way for you to learn is using actual examples. And something I pride myself on is that I practice what I preach in the analysis that I share with you. So traders in the Hima Reddy tribe that get updates from me and my members who get even more detailed updates, every single example we're going to look at here today, I called out to my members as it was happening. I didn't just have it tucked away as a screenshot in my back pocket to pull it out as a beautiful textbook example. Like anyone can do that. I'm showing you actual calls I made, and they were made at the time that the signal was happening. So I want you to type a Y in the chat so you know that I know that you see the value of what you're about to implement here, that these are all calls I made publicly before they happened, while the setup was forming. Awesome. So let's look at another combination here. Let's look at an index futures contract that I feature multiple times a week in the Skinny and the Mini. The E-mini S&Ps, they're my baby. Anyone here trade the E-mini S&P? Let me know in the chat. Maybe you trade the mini NASDAQ, or maybe you trade the newer micros. The equity index futures market is a great area for trading opportunity because of the contract size and the ability to start with even a smaller account and the constant volatility in there. Fantastic. All right. So you're going to love this. Here's a look at part of a recently published Skinny and the Mini. In the Outlook, I wrote about futures likely trading lower to 27.71 and how this might end up as a particular momentum setup. Let's take a look at the charts and apply our 3-step method to see how I came to that conclusion. And then look at what happened after I published. So here's what the market looked like when I was preparing that particular pre-market open report. Number 1, review the chart and assess the price trend. To do that, let's take a look at the highs and lows coming into the pre-market hour. So everyone, bring your eyeballs to the chart and watch for the dots. Ready? I want you to look at the relationship between these highs and lows and tell me, is this an uptrend, downtrend, or sideways? Type your answer for me in the chat box. Uptrends are a series of higher highs and higher lows. Downtrends are a series of lower highs and lower lows. And sideways are a mixed combination that can be narrowing or expanding. Awesome. I'm seeing Jeff and Vishnu and Ghana and Ravi Chandran all saying downtrend. Fantastic. So this is a downtrend. Now the next step is to look at the RSI power zones reading. So I want you to notice that since the extreme high in price, the first pink dot, that the RSI power zones on this 60-minute chart were moving between the bear resistance power zone, right? They were moving between the upper 2 red lines and the lower 2 red lines back and forth, back and forth. Step 3, determine the presence of an entry signal between price and momentum. There was a disconnect here between price and momentum, and I saw the potential for it to become an even more powerful signal. So in the Outlook that morning, I wrote word for word, so if you take any further short positions, watch close to protect profits. Because guys, protecting your profits is the name of the game. That's how you come back another day, right? So what happened next? Let me show you the money. Futures traded lower to complete the price and momentum pattern that I had suspected and identified. So I trusted my signal observation, and then the price and momentum verified it. This led to the ES forming a low at 27.6025 later in that morning and rallying to 28.5375 into the session close. Now, I don't know how many of you trade futures and how familiar you are, but my baby, the ES, is $50 a point. So just in one trading session, that's a $4,675 move based off one contract. And while this happened on the ES futures in recent months, in these volatile and uncertain markets, there are setups like this that continue in a variety of markets and timeframes. I have a whole training that dives into the RSI power zones for true mastery, and I'll show you the signal in module number 2, because I can't teach you everything you need to know in under an hour, right? It would do you a disservice and it would shoot you in the retirement. Yes, I said shoot you in the retirement. Money isn't just money, guys. It's the blood, sweat, and tears that it took you to make it. And you can't afford to lose any of it. I'm here to help you maximize it. And of course, I can't teach you everything that I've learned in 21 years in an hour. So warning, don't do this at home without help. After all, that's what brought you here today. If you could do this without help, you wouldn't be here. So in a moment, I'm going to show you what you've been missing, and then we can look at how we can teach you more in depth. Making sense? Are you getting this? Type a Y if you understand, because we're going to dive into another of your favorites. But first, I have to know you're still with me. All right, great. Let's take a look at another index futures market, the NASDAQ E-mini. This time, we're in a 120-minute time frame. Here's what the market looked like when I was preparing a recent pre-market open report. Review the chart and assess the price trend. Follow the dots again. What's the trend here? Give me your guesses. Remember, trends persist until they change, right? The market is just a series of trends that are continuing then reversing, continuing then reversing. So that's my one clue to you. Yes, the root of this is an uptrend, but that latest, most recent blue dot taking out the previous lows gives you the heads up that this is an uptrend in price, possibly changing to down. Step 2, evaluate the RSI power zones reading. Notice that the RSI power zones on the 120-minute chart returned to the bear support power zone after not registering those levels for 10 days. Check it out. This yellow dot, this measure of the RSI, hadn't been seen for a long time. That's important to notice. The RSI power zones, on top of looking at how the RSI acts for a particular security relative to itself, boost it even more. Step 3, determine the presence of an entry signal between price and momentum. Now, there was a continuation signal emerging, suggesting more downside after the initial shift in trend. That's why in the outlook for that morning, I wrote verbatim, the outlook is for futures to resume lower while beneath 9193. So that's my resistance level highlighted in yellow here. Do you guys see it? So again, the verbatim thing that I said was the outlook is for futures to resume lower while beneath 9193. So they could tick higher into there, but I'm expecting the market to roll over. So what unfolded from there? It's time to show you the money. Futures rallied back into the noted 9193 resistance right here. This, along with the downside continuation pattern between price and momentum, led to a high forming at 9202.75, trading down to 8878.25, all within one session, creating a $6,490 move in price. And while this happened on the NQ futures recently, in these volatile and uncertain markets, there are setups like this in a variety of markets and time frames. Again, I have a whole training that dives into all 4 of the RSI power zones, and I'll give you that signal in the system. I'm just showing you here what you didn't know that you didn't know, that trading can be simple when you follow the expert. Making sense? Are you getting this? All right, give me a Y so I can show you the next chart. All right, awesome. Now let's go back to commodities And this time, look at a daily chart of one that you ask me about all the time in monthly group coaching, gold. We got any gold bugs here? All right. We're going to look at this one in a daily chart. Now, gold is one of the markets that I feature in quarterly updates I do. So every quarter, I look at 20 of key markets and I publish long-term reports, including market timing and more of the tools in my trading toolbox. Let's focus in on what momentum was doing because this helped me in a published report to my traders, prepare them for the move you're about to see. Step number 1, review the chart and assess the price trend. Yep, it's time for those dots again. So what do you see here? What kind of trend is this? Again, type it for me in the chat, please. So this had been an uptrend that started off, and then it went, yes, sideways. Uptrend, now sideways. So we could see a continuation to the upside, or it could become a situation where bears take over. We don't know until we clue into momentum. Step 2, evaluate the RSI power zones reading. Where is the RSI? That's what we're really trying to nail down here. Here, it is lifting up out of the bull support power zone. See, it came down into those 2 lower green lines and is starting to lift up. It's doing what I showed you on the SPY chart, where it simply moved from the 2 upper green lines back to the 2 lower green lines, just relieving overbought conditions. Step 3, determine the presence of an entry signal between price and momentum. There was yet another continuation signal here. And in my outlook, I suggested a break higher in gold futures and gave upside targets for it. How did the market trade from there? That's right. Let's look at the money. Futures traded higher off the 1560.2 low, rallying up to 1700.8. Now, this is not an intraday move, but you can see from the number of bars, this took a couple weeks. And ladies and gentlemen, that was a $14,060 move in price. And remember, I called this out to my tribe as it was happening. I'm very excited to be sharing this with you today because I'm really passionate about the work that I do to provide traders with the best analysis and education to trade the market so you can take control of your financial freedom and live the life you and your family deserve. So by now, you know that the power zones on the RSI can really boost your trading because whether you're new to studying momentum or you've been doing it for years, this approach can really help you extract more profits from the markets and be more consistent. And consistent profits is what it's all about, right? Making sense? Are you getting this? Guys, type the full yes, Y-E-S, if you want more consistent profits. Everyone in the room should be typing Y-E-S. Awesome. Love it. Ghana, Bob, Holly, Ravi Chandler, and Eric. Fantastic. And that's the results our trading family loves to see too, like David. I installed the RSI Power Zones indicator and it's just amazing how accurate it is on all markets. It actually gives advance warning before the price moves. So let me ask you, did I provide value for you today? Did you learn? Are you ready for more? All right, then it's time to master RSI Power Zones. So far, you've heard about how I've come to really benefit from using the RSI Power Zones. Here's what more of my students have to say. I was very impressed with the education Hima provided that came with my indicator. Hima's RSI Power Zones indicator has become the standard in all of my charts, said Rob. Norman shared, a day after learning one of Hima's RSI Power Zones trend continuation entry signals, I tested it out on a 5-minute chart of Tesla. With this one trade, I made over triple digits, covering the cost of her newest course. I got your RSI Power Zones training, and the next morning in the market open, I found UNH as a short candidate using the weekly chart. By the time I sold the position, it nearly paid for the whole course. Thank you for sharing your knowledge and keeping your content reasonably priced, said Aaron. So will you be our next success story? Making sense? Are you getting this? How simple it can be to trade when you have help? Great. So imagine and picture this. You finally able to turn your trading around and make money with trading and live the lifestyle you've always wanted. Giving back to your community the ways you've always wanted to. Sounds great, right? Spending all the time you want with your kids and grandkids. Great. So here's what I've got for you. The system that can give you all that is the 4 Zones RSI coverage system. Before I give you this opportunity, let me show you the features and benefits using the system will give you. Rapid results. You can learn to use the system in as fast as 60 minutes and you'll be up and running. It's perfect for any account size, $5,000 or $10,000 or $100,000 or $1 million or more, you can trade this. You can pinpoint your trades faster so it takes less time. Get more profit because it's perfect to add to whatever you're doing right now. Perfect for beginners, so easy that anyone can do it. Perfect for experts to diversify their accounts because the 4 Zones RSI coverage system gives you all this. But first, who's this not for? This is not for those who are trying to get rich quick. Like anything worthwhile in life, trading takes consistent work to get consistent returns. So if you're here to play the slot machines, this isn't for you. So who is this for? This is for those who are ready to analyze the markets like the expert to optimize and boost their trading. This is for those who want to diversify what they're already doing for additional profits. This is for those who are ready to step up and take action for their own financial freedom. Since you're still sitting here with me, you're taking the time to learn to boost your trading, you're ready to take action now because it's time to remember what you forgot to remember, you can let it be easy. In my 4 Zones RSI coverage system, I give you my 20 years experience in a silver platter, and it's 100% focused on step-by-step systems. Instantly accessible, starting with video tutorials, where I take you by the hand and you move through the 8 phases of a trade, so that you have a complete system to your approach, so that you minimize mistakes. I give you my top RSI Power Zones trading signals from years of study and observation, with real-world various examples across multiple markets and timeframes. I walk you through the best entries, exits, and protective stop strategies so you can extract the most profit from the market using RSI Power Zones, and much, much more. To make it even easier, you'll also have cheat sheets that you can download and print out and keep right by your trading desk. All right? I remember back in middle school, guys, I don't know, there were some science classes that really threw me for a loop, but those teachers were awesome because when they gave us a pop quiz, they would let us bring in a half sheet of paper with the formulas or the definitions that we were recently studying. I'm trying to do that for you, okay? Help you be ready to take advantage of the setups you're seeing as quickly as possible. So these are easy to read grids like this, along with step-by-step trading strategies that'll move you faster in your path to boost your trading account. I print mine out and keep them on my trading desk, and you can keep the PDF on your monitor or print it out if you like. Now you're gonna love this, okay? This is the very thing everyone's always pestering me to get, but I had to have it specially coded for you. I'm also including the RSI Power Zones indicator in all the formats shown here. They're programmed to the exact settings that I use, and they're available for all the platforms listed here. TradeStation, Thinkorswim, NinjaTrader 7 and 8, MetaTrader 4, MetaTrader 5, MetaStock, eSignal, Ensign, Sierra Chart, Trade Navigator, TradingView. I also give you the settings so that you can add them to whatever software or platform you're using if it's not listed here. You know, I've had many traders email in and offer me hundreds of dollars just for these indicators alone, and I'm giving them to you as part of the complete system. And you can download as many of these as you like, as many times as you like. No limits there. I've included everything for you to be set up for success. The only thing you could possibly still need is for me to take you by the hand personally. Actually, would you like that? Would that help you if I hopped in the computer with you and showed you live how it's done and answered your questions right there on the spot? How many of you would like that? Type a Y in the chat. Because I'm not sure unless you tell me. Really? Are you sure? Okay, then. I'm giving you everything, including me. Monthly group coaching live. Once a month, we'll get together online with me personally, and we'll spend an hour together, and I'll personally walk you through the markets, doing analysis with open Q&A to help you become the trader that you want to be. This is a session that is recorded and put into your 4 Zones RSI coverage system portal, and you're invited to attend live every month for life. Do you guys get that? Awesome. So the 4 Zones RSI coverage system, with the on-demand video tutorials where I take you by the hand through how to best trade with the RSI Power Zones, is valued at $1,997. The cheat sheets that you can use as a daily trading guide to learn the system faster and more easily is valued at $197. Monthly group coaching live, this is priceless, but if I had to put a price on that, it's easily $797 for just the first couple months because I easily charge $500 an hour for my one-on-one coaching. But you get me here for life. The RSI Power Zones indicator, available for the most popular trading platforms with free updates for life, is valued at $497. The total value is $3,488, and it's worth every penny. And let me ask you, if all the system did for you is help you to trade an additional market this week, would it be worth it? Yes. If all the system did for you is help you finally make money trading with momentum, would it be worth it? Absolutely. If all the system did for you is help you make so much money with trading that you can quit your job, travel the world, and live the lifestyle you deserve, would it be worth the investment? Of course. The total value of the system is $3,488. Because I want to make an investment in your future, because I want you to see a return on your investment fast, for a limited time, I'm making this available for one low, easy investment of $297. And you can get started now by heading to himaready.com/RSI. And I'll make it even easier for you. When you visit himaready.com/RSI and invest in the system today, I'm going to give you all this because I want to see you finally succeed in your trading. So I'm giving you our personal 100% satisfaction buy it back guarantee. Take action now, use the complete package for 90 days and wear the tires off the system. If you aren't 100% satisfied with your investment, then I'll give you your money back as my gift to you. I want you to be 150% satisfied with the 4 Zones RSI coverage system. And after all, my clients tend to stick around a long time and become my friends too. So follow the whole system, okay? I want you to get out there and treat it like a rental car, put it through its paces, drive it all over the place, wear the tires off the thing. And if you don't feel you've gotten far more than your investment, then I'll hop on the phone with you, work with you personally. And what I really want is for you to be totally satisfied. And that's what we guarantee. If that still hasn't happened, then I'll give you your money back. Simple as that. Again, the total value of the system is over $3,488. And for a limited time, I'm giving it to you for the simple, easy investment of $297. So go ahead and take action now. Now, let me show you exactly what will happen when you join us. You'll immediately get a login access email with details to enter the RSI Power Zone System portal at my educational homepage. After the training, after you log in, all the training you need is right here. So everybody look at this big yellow arrow. It says start here. Please, when you go in there, start there. I designed this as a true teacher would in an order that's best for you to learn. And it brings you through my 8 phases of a trade and the RSI Power Zones as they tie into each. Well, what's all this other cool content on these menus in the background? Those are undisclosed bonuses, and you're going to love it. And we love to over-deliver. So you need to take action now because this offer is only available until 10 p.m. Eastern tonight. So go ahead and visit himaready.com/RSI to take advantage of this limited time offer and get my entire system for just $297. And I'm here with Raleigh setting up for any other Q&A.
Okay, great. Thank you, Hima. Thank you for getting us started off on such a great note this morning. I did pick up some questions that were coming through as you were talking, and one question that came up was people just wanted to understand, does this apply across virtually any market? For example, several people said, does this work in Forex?
Yep, absolutely. So in monthly group coaching live, I have traders of all types of markets come and ask their questions. So we go over Forex, we go over futures, commodities, stocks, options, you name it. In fact, in those quarterly outlooks that I put out, I do include Forex. It's just that Forex is not my day-to-day. My day-to-day is futures. And so that's where I wanted to start my discussion here. But absolutely, you can download the indicator and look at it on your Forex charts and see it work right away.
Sure. That's great. That's terrific. Because I think the takeaway here is that this is something, I guess your point is, this is something that once you learn it, you can apply it virtually anywhere. And
Yes.
these happen to be your favorite markets, but there's no reason why they wouldn't work anyplace else. Something else that was noted that I think in some of the examples you were looking at longer time frames. Does the Power Zone work intraday on shorter time frames, like 1-minute charts, 5-minute charts?
Yes, absolutely. So again, that's something that we look at in our monthly group coaching live. If the trader has a question about a stock or futures or Forex, they're trading short term, as long as they give me the time frame, we can pull that up.
Okay.
And with my coaching students, I actually once a month get on and trade intraday on 3-minute, 5-minute, 15-minute charts live, so they get to see it as well.
Okay.
Yeah, absolutely on intraday setups.
Excellent. Excellent. I think we assumed that. We just wanted to make sure. A couple other questions have just popped in here. And is that, and I think you addressed it a little bit, but it was worth refreshing. Is there any, what account size do you need to follow your favorite markets? In other words, if somebody were to come into your program and said, I like the markets Hima trades, what kind of account size should I have?
So that's a great question. Obviously, the first thing I'll say is no one, anyone here should trade any market with money they cannot afford to lose.
Good
Do
point.
not set aside your rent money for next month and then open a trading account. Bad idea. So with that disclaimer out there, for futures, the bare minimum, I would say, for E-mini or NASDAQ, like say micro futures would be $2,000. Even though a micro contract is way smaller, because we like to keep your risk in the 1% to 2% of your capital range as a start,
Right.
I would say a couple thousand. If you want to trade the regular E-minis, I would say 5,000 or more to have that comfort and flexibility. And for stocks, it really just varies on if you're trading stocks outright, if they're high priced or low priced. For options, you probably need the least, but it's still say a few $1,000s to have the time to let your account grow and be able to trade only small amounts of your capital per trade.
Sure. And kind of along those lines, this is a thought that just popped into my mind. Hima, for somebody that just enters your program for the first time and is taking your course and learning and is obviously paper trading to build up some confidence in that, do you have your sense on average, with your clients, how long they spend, if you will, in practice trading before they actually have the confidence to start trading live with your system?
So that depends on if they're day trading or swing trading, Raleigh, right? So
Okay.
I have coaching students, for example, who come in and they are paper trading the E-mini every day. Their paper trading process will move faster because they're trading 5 days a week, multiple times
Sure.
a day.
They're getting a lot of
And
input. Yeah.
they're getting a lot of input. And especially with my individual coaching students, I give them a specific number alert. I said, when your paper account gets to this, contact me. And then we move them over to live. So with my members who are moving through my educational courses and portals, you're welcome to ask those questions during monthly group coaching live as well. But yeah, I would say that it really just depends on how frequently you trade, that's going to be the key to how quickly you advance out of paper trading.
Sure. That makes all the sense in the world. Let me check my notes here. Oh, yeah. With regard to the power zones, obviously, people that are used to working with charts, they're going like, are those, default RSI settings that you're using there? Is that something somebody can program, or is that really a proprietary indicator that they need to get from you?
So those are custom settings that are in the course. And so they can either just download the indicator and install it and not bother with having to set them. Or
Right.
I have the settings in the course and they will see them, and my team can even help them get them set up if they have a software that isn't on our list.
So that's great. So I think I remember seeing one slide where you showed the comprehensive number of platforms you work with. Essentially, you can apply this virtually to any platform. There's
Yeah,
no
absolutely.
platform limitation at all. So if you've got something that you're using, you can go ahead and do that. Let's see if there was anything else I had here. Oh, there was a question about tick charts.
Okay, so if you're trading on tick charts, then I recommend that to make the most of the price momentum disconnect, you have a higher time frame chart that you check for your RSI setups, but then you can actually take the trades on your tick charts. Because price and momentum do have a strong tie-in with time, and so I recommend using them on time-based charts. But I have a lot of tick traders who decide to bring in a 3 or 5 minute or even a 1 minute chart so they can make the most of momentum and translate that over to their tick charts.
Wow. All right. That's great. Well, Hima, once again, thank you so much. We're coming up against the end of what I think has been a very fast hour of information. Really appreciate your time because we know that you're busy and you got things kicked off today in grand style, and we're delighted. I'm speaking for Pat and Nikki and myself to have you as a member of the Women in Wealth program here. Thank you so much for your time today.
Oh, you're welcome. I was glad to be here. Thank you all for attending, and I look forward to seeing you on the inside in the Forward Zones RSI coverage system. And ladies and Raleigh, I will see you tonight. Camera on, makeup done, rosé in hand. I'm hanging on to summer, so I'm going to drink some rosé, and I'll see you this evening.
That's
Awesome.
great.
All
Thank
right.
you so much, Hima. And let's see. And as you can see here, folks, I've got her special offer, the 4 Zones RSI coverage system, which includes the RSI Power Zone trading signals, entries, and exits, the easy-to-use strategy mastery guide, and the cheat sheets she was talking about, plus that live monthly coaching analysis on the markets that you trade. All you need to do is go to himareddy.com/RSI. She has a very special offer that's available until I think she said 10 o'clock tonight. So I encourage you to check that out. And once again, we certainly do appreciate Hima getting us started off today. This is just the beginning of what's going to be an incredible day. But before we move forward, we have something very special that we do at the top of the hour. And ladies, why don't you share with everybody what's about to happen?
Absolutely, Raleigh. Quiz time. We have a little bit of fun, gets us all moving a little bit in our seats, breaks the brain fade from all of this notes I'm taking. I know I see Nikki doing the same thing. So love to do quiz time. We've made these specific to women and wealth for this one. And how it works is this. At the top of the hour, every hour, we do a quiz. The first person to accurately answer in either the chat box or Q&A wins the prize. Our moderators look at this. They're the ones that determine which one came over first. And we only ask that you use your email address that you did to register. Otherwise, we can't reach you to give you your gift card. Did we say what it was? I don't know. What
$100 Amazon gift card.
Woohoo!
Forget, did we say it?
I don't know.
It's worth saying again.
That's
$100 gift card from Amazon.
Absolutely. And
All right.
Are we ready for the?
we are. Let's go with it.
All right. Here's the first question.
All right. Who was the first woman to receive a U.S. patent?
Ooh.
Might be some Google searches involved here.
I think so. And if you don't know, Raleigh is a drummer. So I think we're going to have to start asking him to do a little drum roll,
Yeah.
a little something to make us get through the,
All right.
We do have a winner. Great.
And I'm not sure if I'll pronounce this correctly, but I'll try. Cynthia Wu. Cintya Wu is the winner. So pop your email address in there and let's see what the answer is.
Mary Keyes, 1809, straw weaving process.
Yeah, when I was taking a look at this one, she invented a process that could turn straw into actually material that women used back then for aprons and hats and things of that nature. And she was the first woman to get a patent on that.
1809. That's pretty great.
Oh, man.
I've always wondered to do with all that excess straw, So.